Leave. Hello friends, welcome to my little paradise, Lyudmyla's world. Today we're going to speak about a taboo subject that in my opinion must come to light in order to be able to speak freely and to express that which we are so worried about. We have information of everything we want. We can talk about other topics freely, but there are mysterious topics to view that just touch them, scare us, or make us think about something we don't want to know. For the lack of talking about taboo, things that we can never change or recover happen to us. In not being able to speak with freedom about this, we don't really know what this is about and how to interpret it. And sometimes we think we have the option to live life at any time voluntarily, but actually forcing ourselves. It is very easy to live, just a slap and you're gone. You leave everything you create here in an instant, and there is no way to go back. The life that was once so valuable to you, it turns out that there is a certain moment when you can no longer remember that value, and is when you let you go without any other thought stopping you, nor any other thought that justifies you to continue living, only an action in an instant. We came here to live. We are born natural, but we have the option to, or rather the power to live the way we decide. Accidentally, due to illness, or naturally when the time approaches and we feel that is the right time, the right moment. So not to live in an instant of unconsciousness, pain, or disagreement with the world. We must learn to understand the value that life has for us on this planet Earth, and how valuable and important is to live it whatever happens. You, like all of us, come here to experiment and gain as many experiences as you can. But life here is like a game. It makes you cry, laugh, love. Passing the evidence happens to us and reaching the end. If at school we are taught that life is just a matter of life, there wouldn't be so many societies in the world. And on the contrary, for millions of years, the human race has invented the easiest way to end with others, to kill. Thus, we have learned to kill and also to harm ourselves. We have been so taught that if we do something wrong, we must suffer, instead of understanding that both the bad and the good are only actions, and when they are bad, we must reflect on them so not to repeat them again. If a person decides not to continue his life and live, in fact, he is forced to live because he thinks that he doesn't fit into the history he's living in this game of planet Earth. And the easiest way is to think about stopping playing and living. But where does he go? Since death doesn't exist because the energy is immortal, we live only the body in the power of nature. And we start a new life, a new story, but on the same planet. And that same game where we have to play, living and passing experiences and growing. So when you decide to live, you should know you're really not going anywhere, just changing the story and start a new one. So maybe you should forget about this solution, because it's not really a good choice to live your story unfinished. I would say that in this game you have to fight, or rather accept what happens there. Accept it and keep on playing. Feel you're all here. You have come to create your story. Create, live, create, whatever happens. But don't leave it and live. If you feel that you are not happy about the situations that have happened, remember that they are only the experiences, and that one will lead you to another. You just have to follow. It's like a game. Life saves you rewards, but first you have to go through experiences that are on your way, which you must go through whether they're difficult or not. Remember that the option to live is to return without memory to the same place and doing and going through the same human experiences. But think that here you have already created a story, and you have to keep on creating it. You have chosen your parents or people who were by your side, who taught you the first words to walk, to love, to live here, to relate, to love animals and nature. You have created your story where everything is created by you, good or bad. In fact, the first years after birth tells us that crying is as natural as laughing. You've had your first good and first bad performance. You've experienced the first love, and you've discovered that there is a second one, and then more. You've learned that there is always a first time, and there is always a second. You have experienced that life gives you thousands of options to live it, play it, and create it. You have learned to get angry and calm down afterward, to hurt and to feel sorry after you've done it, You've learned to forgive and to ask for forgiveness. You've learned not to repeat the same mistakes, but to learn from them. You have learned to give life just as they have given it to you. And you may have learned to create a human body. What you need to learn is to accept that here is the only rule to be happy, is to live the pure truth, not invited by you. It is a truth which sometimes is difficult to accept, but if you don't accept it, you will suffer, struggling, saying that it is a tree when it is a river, wanting to be with someone who doesn't love you, forcing someone to love you. Everything we do against nature will fail. We will suffer and we won't be happy, wasting our time. Love everything you really have without asking for more, only the real and the natural. But live. Don't give up the game. Make a long story of your destiny. Be strong to face all the obstacles of life and to reach the end where you will have the reward. Till now, no matter what happens, you will only follow you. No matter what other thoughts will tell you, other things. At the border of your life, there is a sign that says, continue. Remember it in difficult moments, in times of fall. There is a sign. Continue.